And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Crusin Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new
Back from Thanksgiving break, the Goat Locker Racing League ready to go as we start the playoff picture. 3 rounds as we set up the schedule here tonight from the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Crusin Classics Next Gen Series powered by Goat Locker. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and here tonight we're going around the rectangle and the shallow banks in Indiana. This very historic coveted racing track located in Indianapolis, opened in 1909, 2.5 miles around this racetrack, and the 400,000 fans that could seat here. One of the biggest venues on the schedule for any race. here tonight. Fixed setup, 65 laps, 3 sets of tires with 1 fast repair. And these drivers in the next-gen car are going to need those fast repairs because this car can get very out of control. You'll hear a lot of downshifting into the corners. Very easy to let this thing go and get out of your control. So I have to keep an eye on some of these guys to make sure that they're able to keep it underneath of them. So we get set up to grid here now. Talking about the schedule, here it is at Indianapolis for 65 laps, and then next week we're going to go to Texas Motor Speedway. Phoenix will conclude our championship battle, and the points looking very tight. Here is your 14 cars out here tonight, but your round of 12 is going to be led by Brandon Evans, the regular season champion this year. Congratulations to Evans on getting that victory, and last week's winner as well. Well, 2 weeks ago, when he was able to pull it off at New Hampshire with a dominating performance. Let's take you trackside now and get that grid. Again, Brandon Evans putting it up on the pole. A 52.195. Ryan Pendleton's going to start on the outside with Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drobick, 3rd and 4th. Steve Tucker is going to start in 5th position with Jacob Ellingson in 6th. 7th spot belongs to Bobby Germain with Leroy Colbins in 8th. Rounding out that top 10 here tonight, Robert Hartley and George Jewell. James Goshen's going to start in 11th with John Ross in 12th. And rounding out the 14-car field here tonight, you've got Doug Ellingson and John Anthony in 14th. So if you have any picks out there tonight, now's the time to get them out there. I know the 39's been dominant this season, but this is a little bit different venue than what we've seen in the past. You can put it in the caliber of Pocono with very unique racing line, very unique racing track. We'll have to wait to see if Brandon Evans has the goods. He's able to qualify up in the front. But here we go. Pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn. And here we go down the front stretch. The first round of the playoffs with Brandon Evans on the inside, going to lead him into turn 1. Green flag is out, and we're live and racing at Indianapolis. And already some troubles back here. We've got Jacob Ellingson around on the backstretch on lap 1. We saw some problems. It was, I believe, the 43. He has heavy front end damage. He's down on pit road. John Ross also involved. A little bit of damage on the 58 of Ellingson. Let's go back on the instant replay and find out what happened. These guys were down the backstretch, all over the place. '27 goes around. Let's get it from the blimp camera. You can see a little contact there with the 15, and then the 24 gets in the back of the 27. He's just not able to save it. The 43 tags him there. That's Leroy Colbins, and Colbins, heavy front end damage. One more time on board with him. And Colbins rips the entire nose, pops the engine, and he's done for the day. He's going to have to bring it down pit road. He does have the fast repair, rather. I tend to forget that some leagues don't run fast repairs, but he's going to be Back down pit road, has to tow. And it's the 39. It's going to lead lap number 1. We still got a lot of racing left to do. 65 laps here tonight. And let's see if we have any takers down pit road. We do, and it's the leader. Brandon Evans going to bring it down pit road. So the 39 is going to elect to take tires, or at least top off with fuel. Holman's going to lose a couple laps down here, trying to get that damage repaired. We saw this a lot at New Hampshire, where Evans brought it down pit road several times, trying to get as much advantage as he could, whether it was fuel strategy or trying to work the magic with the tires. Took himself out of the lead several different times, but such a dominant car in New Hampshire that he was able to come back and lead the closing laps of that race. We had problems lap 1, turn 1, and then down the backstretch, bringing out caution number 1 of the night. So Ryan Pendleton will take over the lead. There's Pendleton's setup, as you can see, very elaborate. Even has the fisheye lens for the number 23. There's a lot going on there. All right, getting set back to go green. We'll go green next time by. Lights are going to go out on the pace car, and we're going to try to restart this thing and get it underway officially with a completed green flag lap. Some of these drivers still coming down to top off with fuel and get the tire advantage. Can't say I blame them. This race could very easily turn into a fuel mileage strategy race. And any advantage you can come up with, you got to take it here. It's playoff time. For the next gen Crusin Classics League. And Ryan Pendleton is going to lead him into turn 1 with Patrick Drobick and Jamie Barkus. Side by side, we've got Steve Tucker, Robert Hartley, John Anthony, Doug Ellingson, Brandon Evans back to 8th position, Bobby Germain and George Jewell, the top 10. So some damage on some of these cars. These guys might have burned their fast repairs. If I know anything about a fast repair, you want to try to keep that thing in your back pocket as long as you can, but if it's going to affect your speed, the damage is too great, you got to burn it up, get that new car out on the racetrack as to not lose too much time, because if this race does go green, that could turn into 15, 16 seconds on the racetrack easily, depending on how bad it is. Well, let's try it again as we go into turn 3. iRacing pace car going to pull off this time. We're going to get set back underway in the long front stretch. Almost 3/4 of a mile long. There's the left hand by the pace car. Green flag is back up into the air. And Barney's going to wave it for us. Let's get it started right. Goat Locker for the second time. Crusin Classics Cup Series. And to lead officially under green, it's going to be Pendleton taking that lead away from Evans after he hits pit road, but Evans back here trying to make a steal on 6th position. Dives it down to the inside in turn 1. He's on the bottom of Robert Hartley, trying to work his way into the top 5. Now going to the bottom of the double zero, that's John Anthony. Drag racing down the backstretch. A pretty single file up here from 1st to 4th, but side by side for 5th through 8th. And he's going to get that position up to the 5th position now for your regular season champion. Ryan Pendleton's going to lead another lap. Nobody has challenged him as of yet. The 07 of Drabick has fallen off about 2/10 now. Let's go board with him. On board now with an 07 and some LED RGB in the background. A bit of ambiance with the blue skies here in Indianapolis. So single files out all the way through this field, and the 39 of Evans just a little out of range of the draft. That's allowed the top 4 to maintain this gap of about 1 second over Evans. He's getting a better entry into the corner turns, though. As they go into turn 2, he shaves off a couple tenths there. And Barkas loses a little bit of ground through the corners. He's in 3rd place. Not a bad run so far, but you can see the time lost overall. He's about 6 tenths back from the leader, 2 tenths back from Barkas. So the top 5, Pendleton, Drabick, Barkas, Tucker, and Evans. Evans has shaved off another couple tenths. He's now within 6 tenths of a second of Steve Tucker. So good chance of him working his way up into this top 3. Brush with the wall there in front of him, and now the downshift into 1 and 2. Oh, and a little contact with the wall. That was Drabick trying to keep pace with Pendleton. And that dirty air sent him up into the wall a little bit there. The draft sucks back up for Jamie Barkas. Not a lot of passing going on this racetrack here tonight. 14 cars, and we've seen 1 lead change. And Evans getting ever so closer to this top 4. Loses a little bit of time this time by. But the fastest lap on the racetrack belongs to the 39. And he's ran a 52.436. As he tries to catch up a little bit closer. On board here with the 39 of Evans. He's got the draft now, so the advantage to the number 39. He is catching these boys. And he has caught up, and the yellow flag is out. Looks like problems here for John Ross and James Goshen. Trouble coming out of turn 3 into turn 4. Let's go back on the instant replay and find out what happened to these two. Very high line there for the 58. He's going to come into the right side of the 99, and Ross just gets sent around. And for some reason, I'm not exactly sure, but James Goshen locks up the front wheels and just slides right into him. Goshen, seeing the smoke, not able to see where the 99 is going to end up, and follows him right up into the outside wall. That brings out caution number 2 of the night. Ryan Pendleton might bring it down pit road here. It looks like the 07 of Drawbeck is flirting. They're going to go down pit road. 23 of Pendleton stuck out there on the racetrack. So down and away for the 23 is going to stay out there. Tucker out on the racetrack as well. So the 23 and 24 stay out. Evans coming back out on the racetrack. Fuel only stop for the 39. Tires go on the 07 of Drawbeck. Jimmy Barkus getting tires as well. You can go all the way back to John Anthony, who also got tires. Robert Hartley coming out. Not sure if he missed. Hartley might have missed his stall here, so he doesn't have a time on pit road in the box. We're watching the Goat Locker Cup Series, the Next Gen Series, live on VSRN. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live in Indiana. Goat Locker Next Gen, the Crusin Classics Cup Series. We've completed 14 laps out of 65. About a fifth of the way through this thing. Ryan Pendleton going to lead him into turn one here after staying out with Steve Tucker. 14 laps old on the tires. We'll have to wait and see if that pans out. These guys have been rather single file to start this race off. 2 cautions here tonight. And we get set to go back green for the 3rd time tonight. Pace car pulls off, and here comes Ryan Pendleton into turn 1. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. A little bit of passing going on back here for the 7th and 8th position. To the inside as Barkus gets by the 36 of George Jewell. Making a quick move there into turn 1. And that's the only pass that we've seen thus far. Evans actually gets up 2 positions on the restart. Gets around Tucker very quickly. And Pendleton going to be in a situation now where Evans has fresher tires. Not able to drive it down as deep and as low as Evans that time. And Evans sticking the bottom really well in 1. Shaves off almost a 10th. As they come out of turn 2, has the draft down the backstretch. And the 39 car is catching him. Down the front stretch for another lap led. It's going to be Pendleton, but for how much longer? You can see how much faster that 39 car is, and he is all in the draft, driving it down into turn 1 now, all over the back bumper of the 23. The 39 going to peek to the inside on the exit of 2. He's got the momentum, doesn't have the drive off of 2 that I thought he would, and he's going to stay in line for another lap. Steve Tucker on those older tires has fallen back to 3rd. He has Dravik all over his back bumper in the 07. There's the peak to the inside there for just a second into turn 3. Evans not able to get the nose in there. And Pendleton going to hang on for another lap. Side by side as they go into turn 2, and the lead for the moment, the 39, maybe a crossover here by the 23, almost gets into the wall on the exit of 2, and Brandon Evans is going to take it over. Regular season champion, started on the pole, takes it over on lap 18. Side by side again, though, and the 23's fighting back. They've accordioned back together, and this top 4 is right on top of each other. Peek down to the inside for second place in the 24 of Tucker now looking to get by the 23. Pendleton side by side. They almost touch doors as they exit turn 4. The 39 trying to break that draft, helping out the 24 to try to get around, but he loses a spot after that exit on 4, and the 07 of Drobik takes over. So now up to third place for the 07. Checking back here in the field a little bit deeper. This is the 8th position driver, John Anthony. Started in 14th, so he's worked his way up halfway through this field, but still has a lot of work to do. There's George Jewell in front of him in the 36. Jamie Barkas in 6th position. On board with the number 15 here. You can see the leaders pulling away a little bit down the front stretch. Jacob Ellingson in the number 27 will be the next one in 5th. Now Ellingson has actually picked up the pace here a little bit. He's a couple tenths faster than the guy in front of him, Steve Tucker. And I think the tire advantage is starting to come into effect. 21 laps out there for Pendleton and Tucker. And that's starting to show. Go on board here with the 27. And a big block down the front stretch. The 24 takes them all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. But they're still going to be side by side in a 1. And that's just not enough there for the 27. He's going to do it another lap as they go into 3. In contact there with the 24. He almost runs up into him. They're going to be side by side as they exit 4. This has allowed the 15 and the 36 to catch up to these two. Now the 15 looking to the inside of the 24. He's going to get by. Finally, the 27's able to clear, and Ellingson's up to 4th, and the 15 gets really loose there. Barkas almost loses the nose on it. Now single file back out. Back up to the front. Car whipping it down pit road back there. Not sure who that was. That's Doug Ellingson coming down pit road. Not sure if this is a scheduled pit stop or not for the 58. But back up here at the lead, you've got a couple tenths separating second and third. Evans has pulled away a full second over Drobik. Another lap led here for the 39. After starting on the pole. And a clean race thus far for Brandon Evans. Backs up the corner a little bit here for the 23, but a little too deep there on the exit. Back to the throttle too soon. Loses a little bit of time. And Pendleton's going to fall off about 0.3 of a second as they exit turn 2. Battle for 4th as Steve Tucker starts to resurge on the 27 of Ellingson. And all over the back bumper as they go into 2. It's actually turn 4. And contact there again between the 24 and the 27. They just can't stay away from each other. Tucker trying to complete this pass, ends up losing a position, and the 15 goes around. That's Jamie Barkus. And caution number 3 is out, hopping down the bricks as the 15 gets sent around in the entrance of 1. We're going to see the entirety of this battle, and you'll see the 15 get up here on the outside after the 24 gets a little bit loose on the exit of 4. That allowed Barkus to get up there. I don't know exactly what happens here. Let's go on board with the 24 and see if the 15 came down. Just ever so slight contact there. Little wall ride there for the 36 and the 24 after the fact. That's going to bring out caution number 3 of the night. So let's see if we have any takers down pit road. 27 laps into this race, I'd have to assume that Pendleton and Tucker are going to bring it down to the pits. But will Evans, Drobick, these guys that are on a different stint, bring it down as well? I'm actually looking at the camera of Jamie Barkus right now, not happy with the number 24 of Tucker. But let's see if we got some takers. Looks like we do. So at just about the halfway mark, we have 3 cars a lap down or more. James Goshen, John Roche, and Doug Ellingson. Ellingson parking it in the pits thus far. About lap 22 when he came down into pit road. Evans going to get right side tires guaranteed. Some guys with fuel only stops, some right side tires only. The 07 of Drobick comes out at pit road. Evans going to come out in 6th. John Anthony stays out for a lap led. Will he bring it down pit road? Robert Hartley right behind him. Been a good one so far. Hope you guys are enjoying the action. We're going to take another quick break and be back here in Indianapolis right after this.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good.
Here live, GLR Next Gen Series Cruising Classics back underway. Green flag is out, and we've got John Anthony into turn 1 with the lead, and he loses it. Never mind, that was the 46 of Hartley on the outside. So he is going to take the green and try to pull away from this field. Just about halfway through this race. And now a dive to the inside, side by side, door to door. Jacob Ellingson takes over second position. Draubik going to try to follow suit on the inside of the 46 of Hartley. A little contact there between the 07 and the 46. They lean on each other out of 3. Leaning on each other some more as they exit 4. Now to the inside again. Hartley losing positions quickly. The 23 gets around Pendleton. Now the 42 in the inside. Germain, the 24 of Tucker. Tucker very loose as they exit 2, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, down on the apron. The 39 of Evans working his way through this traffic. Old tires versus new. These drivers following through quickly that stayed out. The leader is now the 27 of Ellingson. Anthony under fire. Ryan Pendleton trying to get around him. Side by side back here for the 4th position. 5th spot. Bobby Germain. Getting a little help from the 24 of Tucker, who gets by the 42 now. That's actually the 46 of Hartley, who's started on the outside. Evans going to go by now. Back to 8th for Hartley. And a car off the racetrack back there. It looks like the 99 of Ross. Side by side for the 3rd spot. 00 of John Anthony, who also stayed out. Getting passed by Draubik. And we actually, there we go. There's Patrick Draubik running in 3rd right now. Trying to get by the number 23. Evans trying to work his way back up to that pole position, passing by on the inside of Bobby Germain. Tucker now making a move on the 00. That 00 staying out has not paid off, and he falls back to the 5th position. Anthony falling back very quickly. Evans going to be the next one to get by him. Evans with that pit stop. Just topping off with fuel this time. And we're past the halfway mark. If you have a volume knob on your smart device or TV, now's the time to find it. We're going to turn up the volume here with Goat Locker. Ellingson holds on for a few more laps. He's got 6 laps led. Evans gets up to 5th position. Regular season champion trying to work his way in. A battle for the lead now underway. Peek to the inside now for the 23 of Pendleton. And all over the back bumper is the 07. Slides up a little bit there. The 23 is able to clear and a change for the lead. Lap 37, Pendleton takes it back over. And a little contact with the wall there. That's the 07. Drag race side by side for 2nd position. Tucker works his way all the way up to P2 now. And he clears them into 1 and 2. A little loose there for the 24, but Pendleton pulling away from these guys. Loving what he sees in his mirror. The 39 of Evans now making a move for the 4th position. A little bit deeper in the field, the driver that got involved in that last caution, the 15 of Jamie Barkus, dives it down to the bottom, 3 wide as they go into 3. Gets by Leroy Colbins. I don't know if the 00 maybe tagged the wall and sent the 43 down, but that set up a 3 wide and a pass for Jamie Barkus. He gets by both of them. Battle for 4th heating up a little bit. Jacob Ellingson, who was leading just a moment ago, really pinching down the 39 here as they go into 1. Evans pushes the 27 down the backstretch. Trying to work his way around the 27. So another pass, working his way through this field again as Evans tries to gain as much as he can. These pit stops have put Evans very deep in this field, but he's shown the speed with 25 laps to go. Looks like Evans is the class of the field again if he can get up there to the 23 of Pendleton. Side by side for 2nd place. Tucker on the outside of Drawbeck. Not able to complete that pass. Now opening up the door for the 39. The outside seems to be where you want to be. Tucker, a little block there on the 39. Now Evans going to look to the inside. Brandon Evans going to dive it down deep into 3. Slide up in front of the 24. And completes that pass. 2nd position now for the 39. Pendleton has pulled out to about 0.7 of a second. Let's see if this lead dwindles down. He loses a 10th there in the entrance of 1. 21 laps led out of 65 here tonight, 42 laps into this race. And it's Ryan Pendleton on point with about 20 to go, 23. There's Leroy Colbins in the number 43, back in 8th position, just behind Jamie Barkas, who was involved in that last caution. These drivers find themselves about 3-4 seconds back from the lead. 6 seconds for Colbins. James Goshen behind Robert Hartley, who stayed out on this last restart in 11th. Maybe a top 10 night here for Goshen. He's going to have to get to the inside, run it a little bit lower if he wants to get a chance at a pass here. There's a dive to the inside for 10th. The 85 looking like he might get away with a top 10 here tonight. Hartley struggling here after staying out. Evans is almost caught up. 0.3 of a second now as they come across the line for lap 44. 43 rather. Now 44. Who's counting? Knows he's going to have to put up a fight here. The draft's so important. Dives it down and pinches the 39 in the entrance of 3. Trying to prevent him from getting to the inside and getting that pass. Going to make that car really wide here on the exit of 4. Maybe a missed shift there for the 23. That allows the 39 of Evans to take over the lead right at the line. Steve Tucker has worked his way up to the back bumper of the 23. Hasn't really left it since the restart, but he's getting ever so closer to making this pass. Have to wait and see if the 24 can work his way around him. The top 3 hasn't changed much. Tucker, who started in 5th, got involved there with the 15 down the front stretch. A little block there from the 24, or the 23 rather. See the dance down the backstretch. These drivers trying to stay in the slipstream of the guy in front of them to maintain that speed. The wind resistance similar to a super speedway. And Germain comes down pit road, locks up the tires, and the 42 is going to bring it down. Believe this would be a scheduled stop for the 42. But he locked it up pretty hard coming down pit road. Let's get that on the instant replay. So the 42 down into the pit stall. Getting service to the right side. Let's see if left sides go on this machine. Scheduled pit stops underway here with about 18 laps to go. No other takers on pit road yet. One advantage of this big venue is you can hit pit road and most likely not go a lap down. So there is that advantage of staying on the lead lap in case there is a caution. It's going to be close though. "49 laps into this race. Evans, the regular season champion, takes over the lead on lap. Well, he's taken it over several times, but takes it back over on lap 39. He's led 15 of them here tonight, starting to pull away from the 23 of Ryan Pendleton. Steve Tucker in third, close behind the 23, has not let the 39 out of his sight. Lap traffic now with the 42 of Germain. Even with fresher tires, the 42 struggling to stay ahead of the 39 here. Moving to the outside now for the 39, trying to get around. The 42 might be holding him up a little bit here, but down drafting. He's going to move up to the outside, and Jermaine's going to let the 39 car go by. A couple other leaders down behind. Tucker must have made a mistake because he's no longer on the back bumper of Pendleton. So through your top five, you've got Evans, Pendleton, Tucker, Drabick, Ellingson, and then Jamie Barkas in sixth spot, Leroy Colbins in seventh, George Jewell in eighth, James Goshen ninth, and Bobby Germain going to round out that top 10. One car off the racetrack, that is the 99 of John Ross. Two cars technically off the track because we have the number 58 of Doug Ellingson in pit road. Picking the laps away here tonight at Indianapolis. The 39 of Evans, showing him why he's the regular season champion as he gets another lap led. And that's going to bring him up to 18 laps. In this 14-car field, feeling the hurt from Evans here as he pulls away from Pendleton. Trying to find a battle on this racetrack. Everybody pretty spread out. We're talking about maybe the closest battle is Jacob Ellingson's in fifth. Jimmy Barkas slowly catching up to him. I think I recognize a Fanatec wheel when I see one. Ellingson rocking the Alcantara leather on that number 27 here tonight. Unfortunately, not able to keep pace up there with the top four. He is going to be about 4 seconds back. And side by side as they come out of turn 2, it looks like a pass here from Jamie Barkas for the top 5. Battle for second position has cooled off tremendously. Evans stretches out the lead to almost a full second. 11 laps to go, and Pendleton, who led quite a few laps here tonight, just not able to maintain that lead. Ellingson looking like he's struggling, and the double zero of John Anthony hits the wall coming out of turn 2. Just behind him. Some more drivers starting to struggle here as we get a long green flag run under our belt. 3 cautions with 6 lead changes here tonight in Indy. Take a look at that weather. 69 degrees in the air, temperature very cool, but 87 on the racetrack, especially in the parts of this track where shade's not a factor. The entry of 1 helps tremendously when you have a little shade on there. Down this backstretch and out of the exit of 2, it's very slippery. Some connection issues here with Ryan Pendleton. He falls back a full second off. And anytime you have a connection issue like that, it'll break the draft and you're not able to keep pace. Having the 42 behind him right now really not benefiting him if the connection doesn't hold up. You see the 39 of Evans getting smaller and smaller in front of the 23 as we ride on board with them. Evans just being dominant here tonight. Less than 10 to go in the 39. 1.3 seconds ahead of Ryan Pendleton. Brandon Evans looking like he's going to wrap this thing up. Steve Tucker back in third. He's fallen off almost 2 seconds back, but a podium night here for the 24. Patrick Drobick is in fourth, 4.2 seconds back. This field very spread out. There's John Anthony making a pass on Hartley for the 11th position. The 27, Jacob Ellingson in the middle of all this. And a block now from the 27. Not sure what that was all about. Robert Hartley in 12th, trying to catch up to the double zero. He's shaving a little bit of time off here. Maybe able to gain one more position before this is all said and done. Five laps to go here for Evans. As it crosses the stripe, the yard of bricks. Evans just dominating here tonight, picking up right where he left off at New Hampshire, and looking really good in round one of the playoffs. We're going to eliminate it down to 8 drivers after tonight. We took our top 12. You see only 14 cars out here. 12 of those drivers are in the playoffs here tonight. And Evans on the top. 4 laps to go as he comes out of turn 4. Still not a lot of battles on this racetrack. Closest cars together right now is Robert Hartley in the 46 next to John Anthony, and that's about 0.7 of a second. But these guys have spread out so tremendously with 3 laps to go. It's looking like these positions are going to stick. Everything on the left side of your screen probably going to stay the same. Hartley trying to catch up to Anthony. 0.7 back. Doesn't look like he's catching up to him too much. Last time by, pretty identical lap times. Coming out on 2 to go. And it's Evans in the lead. Nothing's changed. 2.8 seconds the deficit back to Ryan Pendleton. Steve Tucker even further back, 5 seconds, almost 6. The top 3 are in another time zone. Drawbeck is going to be 11.1 seconds off of the leader, 5.5 back from Tucker. White flag going to go out in the air for the number 39. He just has to get around this place one more time and take it into the final 8. The 42 of Bobby Germain providing a little bit of draft help, but white flag up in the air. One more time around. Brandon Evans gonna let the 42 by. That 10th place driver gonna sail down the backstretch in front of the leader. The dominant performance of starting on the pole. Racing his way back through the field a multitude of times. And here tonight, on this very cold Wednesday. The number 39 of Brandon Evans is going to get the win at Indy. Ryan Pendleton comes home in second place. Steve Tucker in third. Those race interviews with your top three as we ride it back around the racetrack with the 39 of Evans. Gonna bring it down the front stretch and burn it down. Into the final round of 8 here for the 39. And right across the line, he's going to get a chance to kiss the bricks here tonight. Brandon Evans getting the win. We'll be back here on VSRN with the Goat Locker Next Gen Crusin Classics series right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Crusin Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Dweck.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Back here live at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We've concluded our 65 laps here tonight for the Cruising Classics Next Gen Series for Goat Locker Racing. Winner here tonight, Brandon Evans, getting it done in true fashion with another dominant performance. We're catching up down here on pit road. We have your top three, and third place finisher here tonight. That is Steve Tucker in the number 24. Steve, it looked like it was tough out there tonight. Very tight off the exits of the corner, and some of these guys struggling to keep pace. You got up front there during the closing laps, but it just looked like it was too tough to handle after it got hot.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a big track. It's really draft dependent. Unfortunately, this setup. I mean, we were hitting the chip. I mean, right past the start finish line on the on the straightaways. So I mean, you really couldn't maximize that draft like you want to. You really had to kind of set up guys to pass them on the exit, mostly in 1 and 3. It seemed like, at least for me, but. Tires played a big role into it. That's why we, did the strategy we did that first time by. I think me and Ryan didn't take tires and ended up working out well for us. So didn't have enough, obviously for Evans and Pendleton at the end. But hey, you know what? It's like our 7th or 8th straight podium finish. So I'll take it. And I think mathematically we're into the next round. So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, just surviving to the next round where it really matters. That's what it's all about. The strategy to stay out. We saw some guys pull that really early in the race and it didn't benefit them. And then we saw guys do it on that third caution. And you guys just kind of played your cards right to be able to get around them. I believe that was the 00 of John Anthony and the 42 of Jermaine. But you guys got around them pretty quickly. How tough was it, though, to keep pace if you didn't have draft?
Pretty tough. It's the setup coupled with this car and this track. It's just not an easy place to pass, right? So track position really mattered a lot, which is why we made that call. We wanted to be up front no matter what. Later on, obviously, when we took those tires, we were, I think, restarting 7th or 8th, but we picked them off one by one. And through that process, I think I burnt up my stuff a little more than I wanted to. Brandon obviously did a lot better job. So so it's just a tough place. Tough, drafting is key at a place like this, similarly to like a Pocono or, Michigan maybe, but yeah, just with that setup in the, that rev, we couldn't maximize what we wanted to do, but overall, not a bad day.
I definitely put it in the caliber of Pocono, and the amount of times that you guys shifted here tonight, I almost felt like New Hampshire all over again. But congratulations. Steve, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yeah, of course. Just always, harpoondesign.com. Best looking car on the track each and every week. So go and check them out for yourself. You can find them at harpoondesign.com. Get a paint scheme of your own and look just as good as me.
Appreciate your time, Steve, and making it to the round of 8 here for Goat Locker in the Cruising Classics Next Gen. Thank you for your time. There's your third place finisher here tonight, Steve Tucker. And now we're going to move on to our second place finisher. That's Ryan Pendleton in the number 23. And Ryan, it looked like the lap traffic, the no tires, do you take tires? It's just all these different strategies with the cautions. But ultimately, comes down to second place here tonight. What did you need to get you up there to win this race?
Just really need to be a little bit quicker, be better. We knew when Brandon set his qualifying time, I think he was about, close to 2/10, at least 1/10 and a half quicker than I was. It was going to be tough to beat him tonight. So yeah, I needed for myself to be a little bit faster, and I never wish for any bad luck, but yeah, maybe some luck could go my way, but provided a fun race. These cars in this track, Brandon and I were just talking about it, are a great combo. They get to be a little loose there at the end, makes it fun and gives good opportunities to pass.
Looked like it was tough to pass out there. You guys got side by side a multitude of times, but even with lap traffic, seemed like it was tough. Cars that had older tires and the lap traffic trying to get around them, they just couldn't do it. What was the deal there? Was it the slipstream or this track just so tight?
Yeah, the draft definitely helps cars. Even if you're not quite as quick as the car, behind you or trying to pass, it can really make it tough to get around somebody and stay around them. But I know there were some guys that were definitely trying to stay in that draft and save a little bit of fuel. We were all super tight on fuel there then, so it wouldn't surprise me if some guys were tucking in behind even lap cars and just saving just that little bit of fuel to make sure they were good to the end.
That makes sense. It all adds up now. And I saw a little bit of that with the leaders. And as this race progressed, you guys seemed like you had some strategy to try to win. But ultimately, second place here tonight, Ryan. And do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, everyone over at Goat Locker, everyone that's joined the league recently, and everyone that's been coming for a long time. Pat and Jamie work really hard on this, as well as some other people behind the scenes, and it's growing and it's starting to show. So everyone that sponsors Goat Locker comes out and supports us, watches the broadcast, you guys for broadcasting, and then teammates and the rest of the drivers in the field.
Crusin Classics Next Gen Series, second place finisher here tonight, Ryan Pendleton. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So moving on down, we got victory lane here. Your race winner, Brandon Evans. And it's really no surprise. I tell you, Brandon, you put on a dominant performance. I know the laps led doesn't really show it, but you drove back through this field 3 different times here tonight. As far back as, I believe, 8th or 9th position at one point, and you're able to work your way back to the leader. How does it feel, man, to win that regular season championship and then just come out here and dominate again?
Yeah, I needed that. I'd like to have that momentum going into Texas. Texas is not a decent track for me because the opposite ends are completely different. But we got some good shifting practice here because we're going to need it there as well. So I knew that this race in particular was going to be about fuel, and some tire management, but the fall off's not that bad. But definitely fuel management. That's why I ended up starting, going to the back, then trying to drive my way back through the front, then going back to the back again. I didn't want to get to a point where we go on a long green flag run and have to go to fuel saving. Lifting early and trying to clutch or whatever you can do to save fuel, because you can lose too much time. So I just tried to manage it the best I could, and thankfully it worked out.
Well, I want you to wave to everybody. You're up here on the driver cam. We got them working here tonight. I appreciate. I tell you what, man, what you did at New Hampshire last week was kind of similar to what you did here tonight, where you went through the field, you showed the speed, you started up front. But you're going to Texas next week, and you're in the final round of 8. How much different is the mindset going into that racetrack compared to what we've been doing the last 2 weeks with the flat tracks?
Yeah, you gotta have, because of the aero disadvantage, by running behind somebody, you're just gonna have to get out, kind of like how Vegas went. Just gonna kind of have to try to stay up front, best I can, and manage the dirty air, because that's where the tire heat and all that stuff kind of compounds. So that race, I won't be doing any of these going to the back shenanigans. I would expect that race to go relatively green, kind of like Vegas did.
We'll have to wait and see. 2 races left, and then we have Phoenix to finish out the championship. You're going to be on point here for the next 2 rounds. Brandon Evans, is there anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yeah, I think some of the sponsors on the car, CrossFit Catawba Valley and Ugiri Ramen Project. Thank Makoni Setup Shop. The official setup shop of eNASCAR is a partner of mine. Check out their fixed tutorial videos. I put that out every week that I get a chance to do an interview. They're a great setup shop and lots of tutorial videos and stuff to just gain knowledge. I think that's what this is about, just trying to get better, trying to get faster. And thank Goat Locker and you in the booth.
I appreciate your time, Brandon, and hopefully we get to talk to you again next week as we go to Texas. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.
All righty. Thank you.
Race winner here tonight, Brandon Evans, getting it done at Indianapolis. Let's take you through that final finishing order. Take you trackside now. It was a great finish. We started out a little rocky here tonight, but with the cautions, breeding cautions, we're able to have a nice long green flag run, and some of these drivers had to come down and pit, too tight on fuel. Brandon Evans going to go into the round of 8 with Ryan Pendleton. Steve Tucker definitely locked in. Patrick Drobick going to get 4th here tonight. Jamie Barkus recovers after that spin about halfway through this race. And 5th, Jacob Ellingson in the 27th is going to come home in 6th position. 7th spot, Jerry Colbins and George Jewell in 8th. James Goshen's going to finish 9th, and rounding out that top 10 here tonight will be Bobby Germain in the number 42. Robert Hartley in the 46. He ends up getting around. I believe the 00 was chasing him down, and tell you what, 12th position, that was the tightest battle on the racetrack. Half a second separating those two at the line. John Anthony's going to bring it home in 12th. John Ross going to be 13th, and Doug Ellingson parks it on pit road. He'll finish in 14th, 43 laps down. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast of the Goat Locker Cruising Classics Next Gen Series. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button to VSRN and go check out V-Speed and V-Speed 2. Always some oval racing going on over there as well. Never miss a single race when Goat Locker goes live at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be at Texas Motor Speedway for the second round of the playoffs. But for everybody at V-Speed that made this possible, Eddie Smith for bringing me on here, Adam Baker that runs V-Speed, this is Bradley Cooper signing off and telling you to have a great rest of your week. Take care, everybody.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.